Hello, darling parents. Welcome once again to a Facebook Live from Wow Parenting. My name is Naren, and today we have a very interesting conversation. Today, we are going to have a conversation on this topic, and that is how do we handle the rebellion of children? Now, a very dear friend of mine who stays in Dubai had asked this question because she was finding a little tough time to manage the rebellion of her child. And her question was also about how do I make my child take the right decisions of life? Because if I am guiding him and if I am saying that you should do this, he seems to be saying, I won't do that at all. And if I am saying don't do this, he says that is what is exciting to me and that is what I am going to do. So, how do I handle the rebellion of children and how do I help them to be a decision maker? Now, these two are actually two different questions, but they are two sides of the same coin. Here are my thoughts. You will find some of these thoughts are already known to you, but some will be very interesting and insightful. In today's live, let's break down the age group of children into three different parts. Children who are less than 4 years old, children who are between 4 to 8, children who are 8 years and above. Now, children who are less than 4 years old, they also rebel. For example, you will find these small toddlers. When mama says, come here, she may not come at all. When you want to feed them food, they may not like to eat food at all. When you tell them relatives are going to come and this is how I want you to behave, they might listen to you, but they still might end up doing what they feel like doing. And sometimes it can be really frustrating for mothers that why is my child not listening to me? Why is my child rebelling so much? Now, the reasons for which a child who is less than 4-year-old rebels is very different compared to the reasons for which the child between 4 and 8 rebels, compared to the reasons for which a child who's 12 years and above rebels. So let's take all of these three one by one and discuss it. Till the age of 2, for the child, everything in the world is just physical, it is its body. It does not understand that there is a difference between its body and another body. It does not understand that there is a gap between one step and the other step. To it, everything looks one. Somewhere after 2, around 2.5, around 3, around 3.5, somewhere around this age, the child starts to understand that I am different and the whole world is different. It has a different sense of identity and it is searching for its own identity now. It wants to know, can I do things by myself? Do I have to do things which others are saying? And think about this. When we ask the child to do something, for example, if I tell my child, Beta, please sit down. The child sits down. And then what happens? The child does not get engagement, the child does not get attention. Nobody is paying any heed to the child anymore because the child has complied and the child is cooperating and the child is simply sitting down. But in case the child says, no, I am not going to sit. Now will the mother or the father ignore the child? Or the grandmother or the grandfather will ignore the child? No, they won't. Now they will come behind the child and they are going to tell the child, Are beta, are sunna, are cooperate, are just for 2 minutes sit. And the child likes this interaction. What the child essentially needs is engagement and attention. What the child essentially needs is interaction. And in the busy world today, for the parents, they wish the way I switch something on and the light comes on, the way I switch something on, the fan comes on. Similarly, when I tell my child do this and do that, it should do that. But it doesn't happen that way. So the child is struggling to understand its identity, and if it is saying something or doing something, it is doing so purely because it wants good engagement from you. As simple as that. So when the child is less than 4 years old, if the child is rebelling, understand the child just needs a little more game, a little more attention, a little more love, a little more physical touch, a little more play. When I can give that to my child, I will be able to see that my child is much more cooperative. Now, what happens between the age group of 4 to 8? Now, in the age group of 4 to 8, now the child definitely wants to have an identity of its own. Child wants to find out how much power it has. Child wants to find out how much things in their life they can actually control. And here the rebellion is so often about finding out what are their boundaries. Over here, if I can respect the child and if I can listen to the child patiently, if I can interact with the child responds brilliantly well. Between the age of 4 to 8, we are essentially setting up the behavior of the child. The child is learning so much about how to interact with people and how to build relationships. So when it is saying no to you or it is rebelling against you, it is wanting to learn how to respond to people. It is wanting to learn when somebody tells them no, how should they deal with that situation. The child wants to learn that if I am rejected, should I give up? Should I cry? Should I scream? Should I beat? Should I become sad? Should I withdraw? Should I go inside the room? Should I throw tantrums? No, the child wants to learn and the child does not know. Because there are times when the child would have told no. The child would have been told no. For example, let's say my younger daughter Mehak a few years ago was 5 years old and Mehak says, Papa, I want to go down to play. And I say, no, not now. It's too late. It's too dark. And then I get busy in doing my work. So the child thinks, I wanted to play. It's a very reasonable request. I feel like playing, hence I should play. When Papa feels like seeing TV, he sees TV. When he feels like eating, he eats. When he feels like going to office, he goes. When I feel like playing, why is the world saying no to me? The child is learning. It wants to learn how to handle this situation. And therefore, next time when you ask the child, come here and sit to eat your food, child wants to learn how to deal with a no. So now the child says no, or the child ignores you the way we have ignored our children. So if Mehak is ignoring me, it is because I have ignored Mehak earlier. She didn't know how to deal with it. She was completely ignored. And now she wants to know how to deal with this situation. 4 to 8, the child saying no is fundamentally a child's way of finding out how do I deal with situations where a no has been told to me. The rebellion of the child is nothing else but wanting to learn how to deal with people and how to deal with situations. When the child crosses the age of 8, now things are a little different. Here when the child is rebelling, it means the child carries some pain in their heart. Here when the child is rebelling, it means the child has some emotional disturbance inside their heart. Here when the child does not listen to you or does not comply, it either means they've gone through some rejection, some part of their life is not working properly. It means that maybe a friend has rejected them. It means they wanted to belong to a group and they were not allowed to. It means maybe they have a poor self-esteem. Maybe they're thinking they're not good looking or they're not smart enough or nobody cares for them. And their rebellion is a method of getting validation from the world. And two, their rebellion is a way of telling the world, I care a damn. I'm still going to do what I feel like and nobody controls or commands my life. A child who's 8 plus and if they rebel, Essentially, it is about a scream from their heart. In other words, when the child rebels or the child says no, it is not a rejection about you. When the child rebels or the child says no, they are not going against you. When the child is rebelling or when the child is saying no, they are not letting you down, they are not putting you down, they are not rejecting you. They don't want to go against you, they don't want to disappoint you, they don't want to hurt you. You are not even in the periphery. Different ages, the child goes through it for their own needs. And as smart parents, as wow parents, what we need to do is first get this conviction: the child loves you and the child does not want to disturb you or destroy your peace. The agenda in the child is not to disobey you and make your life little difficult or little complicated. If the child is rebelling against you, there is something which the child needs. So from the age of 0 to 4, what the child needs is a sense of identity. From 4 to 8, what the child needs is, do you remember what did I say what the child needs? Put it down in the comment section over there. Okay, this is what I remember is the need of the child between the age of 4 to 8. In the meanwhile, before I forget, if you're liking this video, please share it with your friends. If you're liking a point which is being discussed, please mention it in the comments. If you're liking what we are discussing over here, do press the like button. It will help us to reach out to hundreds and thousands of more people with your cooperation. Now that you have written, let me give you my answer. Between the age of 4 and 8, when the child rebels, the child is attempting to learn A, how to build relationships, and B, when somebody says no to them, how is it that they are supposed to handle that no? Just to bring it into perspective, when you say no to the child, how do we expect the child to respond? Child says, I want to go down to play. You say no. Now, how do you expect the child to respond? So, when the child says no to you, it is expecting you to respond the same way. Or it is learning from you how to handle a no or how to handle a rebellion. And if your child is 8 years plus, and if they are rebelling against you, trust me, it is almost like a person has a pebble inside their shoe, hence they are not able to walk properly. As the person who has pebble inside the shoe looks at you, they cannot have a smile on their face. Their face will be a little sad, a little awkward, a little irritated, maybe frustrated. So they might be like, and they look at you. Now when they look at you with that face, it is not about you. It is about the pain, the discomfort that they're having inside their feet, in their shoes. So when the child is rebelling against you and the child is 8 years plus, it's not about you. It's about they have understood that they are not able to handle something in their life, and this is giving them negative emotions, it is giving them pain, and they wish you are at least that person in this world who will understand this pain of theirs. So the cry from their heart is, Mama, Papa, you will know that I am going through some pain, so help me out. And in this situation, if we are rough, if we are crude, if we are cruel, if we are punishing, or if we want to control, if we want to dominate, the rebellion will increase, it is not going to decrease. Because this roughness, this toughness, this crudeness, this cruelness, this dominating, this control is going to make things worse. It is not going to make things better. What is going to make things better is respect the child, allow him to sit next to you, ask them what's going on in their life, ask them directly, indirectly, various aspects by which he feels or she feels they can trust you with their emotions. And then when they open about their emotions, you will find what I have been saying. Their behavior is not about you. It is about a pain that they are not able to handle. So, three different age groups, three different ways in which if we parents can handle it, your child will trust you so much. Instead of rebellion, you will find very healthy conversations in the house. Instead of the child sulking, you will find they'll come home, they'll hug you, they'll just say, I need a small discussion with you, when can we have it? You can say right now, you can say after 2 hours, you can say tomorrow morning, but you will find the child, even if they are disturbed in the world outside, comes back home with composure because they know my parents at home will help me to handle it. I know how much children mean to you, and I know how many sacrifices as parents you will make for your children. Let's apply this little bit of intelligence that we have discussed in today's session and ensure our children are also emotionally very balanced, very beautiful, very strong. We don't want rebellion, we want cooperation. We don't want fights, we want love. We don't want ugly scenes, we want scenes where there is joy and happiness together. May you have enough of these positive moments, positive experiences, and positive emotions in your parenting. Wish you all the best and love you so much.